Thank you very much. I, Ganesh, I welcome you all on this lovely, pleasant day of November 9th for India-USA Higher Education Dialogue,
Recording in progress.
organized by Confederation of Indian Private University in association with Association of Public and Land Grant Universities. This is a unique day where we all have gathered. This seed thought of having the collaborative competitiveness which we all have witnessed or came across at times. This seed thought by Executive President Rahul Karatji of coming together for a collaborative competitiveness, learning from each other and then growing together. It started in 2022 with a visioning workshop in Washington, a subsequent visioning workshop in Pune in 23, and then in 24 we are meeting here in Orlando. Things have moved on. A lot of discussion, deliberations have gone ahead. And for the next chapter of this growth story, we are here. I again welcome you all for being, thank you for being here. Going forward, I would like to invite few members on dais and to proceed forward for the inauguration session. I humbly invite Professor Dr. Suresh Garimala ji on dais, Chairman CIPU Global Advisory Council and President University of Arizona. I invite Mr. Rahul Karad, Founder and Chief Patron CIPU and Executive President MIT World Peace University Pune to the dais. I invite our special guest, Mr. Vinod Bahade, Minister Education, Head of Chancellery, Embassy of India, Washington, D.C. to the dais. And I humbly invite Mr. Mark Becker, President, Association of Public and Land Grant Universities to the dais. Thank you, sir. It is giving a great feeling when we are looking at the day's schedule as we move on with inauguration session and then followed by the panel discussions where a lot of ideas, thoughts being discussed. As we move forward, I request Professor Dr. Suresh Garimala ji to extend the welcome to our guest. So I request Professor Dr. Suresh Garimala ji to welcome Mr. Vinod Bahade, Minister Education, Head of Chancellery, Embassy of India, Washington. So we welcome Mr. Vinod Bahade ji, Minister Education, Head of Chancellery, Embassy of India, Washington. Thank you, sir, for being here. Thank you, sir. Yeah. I further request Suresh Garimala ji to facilitate the Dr. Mark Becker, President, Association of Public and Land Grant Universities, for being here with us today. Thank you. Yes. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here and part of the dais. Moving forward, I humbly invite Professor Suresh Garimala ji, Chairperson CIPU Global Advisory Council and President of University of Arizona. But before I invite, it's my duty that I must introduce a brief profile of Professor Dr. Suresh Garimala ji. We all will know the contribution and the support being extended by Suresh Garimala ji. Professor Dr. Suresh Garimala, Chairperson Global Advisory Council, CIPU, and President, University of Arizona, USA. Till recently, Suresh Garimala was the 27th President of the University of Vermont, UVM. Under his leadership, University of Vermont underscored reputation as a premier flagship research university dedicated to providing a world-class student experience and committed to fulfilling its land grant mission. Since his appointment as a president in 2019, Garimala has prioritized access and affordability for University of Vermont students. Through cross-campus collaboration, he has motivated a significant expansion of experiential learning opportunities, global experiences, career preparation, and academic advising and support resources to ensure student success. This being a phenomenal contribution to the growth and learning of the students. With this, I invite Professor Dr. Suresh Garimala, Chairperson CIPU and President University of Arizona, for the convening remarks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Ganesh. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. I always feel not quite equal to all the wonderful ceremony that we do here, but it is very nice the way our Indian colleagues organize these things. So I'm truly excited to welcome all of you to this third in our series of conferences related to this India-US higher ed collaborations. Each time, we've matured more, there's more going on, and so it's wonderful to watch that. We have a distinguished group participating here. To my colleagues who've traveled from India this week, I welcome you. I commend your commitment to this. I'm grateful you've made the journey. And for those like me who are leading US institutions, greetings and welcome to Orlando and to APLU. So enough has been said about my background. I'll just say that I've been deeply engaged with India for many years, starting while I was at Purdue, but then at Vermont as well, engaging our alumni there, the government there, the corporations, institutions, and so on. And I think there's just enormous potential, and it only grows each year. And so, again, my thanks to each of you, in particular, the folks who are moderating panels, who are serving as panelists. So let me also say that I'm extremely pleased to greet and give thanks to our distinguished guests this morning. Head of Chancery, Dr. Vinod Bahade, and First Secretary Aditi Walunja is here. They're here from the Indian Embassy. And our friend, I don't know if you see him yet on Zoom, but Dr. Sethuraman Panchanathan, the director of the National Science Foundation, he's actually been with us at each of the workshops that we've had. He was there in person in Washington, D.C., and then in Pune when we met there. And then, of course, we have Dr. Mark Becker, president of APLU, who's been gracious about offering to partner with CIPU, and there'll be an MOU signing here today, and for co-hosting us here, actually. So, Mark, thank you very much. We appreciate your work and that of your team. These guests obviously honor us with their presence, and I think each of their commitments to building partnerships and developing productive connections between our two nations are deeply valued. I want to extend a special personal thanks and appreciation to this amazing visionary, Dr. Rahul Karad, president of MIT, WPU, for his leadership in creating the original grand vision for universities in India coming together. It was a tall order, but he's dedicated his time, his staffing, and resources to this effort. And the person behind all that, behind the scenes, has been Dr. Ashok Joshi back there. If you get a chance to say hello to him, you can learn a lot from him. So Ashok, thank you very much for your leadership. So we've made exciting progress through the workshops we had in Washington, D.C. in May of 2022 and in Pune, India in January 2023. And the formation of CIPU has been an encouraging and significant step forward. This is more than and faster than we might have expected for something like this to come together. I hope we will look back on what we call the Pune Declaration that was issued at the Pune workshop as sort of a turning point for this collaboration. So for those of you joining for the first time, I just want to share that the goals of our efforts of this convening, simply stated, is to foster a forum, bring together people, especially Indian private institutions, to share ideas and best practices, address real challenges in a tangible way, working together, and engage in collective advocacy for enhancing Indian higher education. So those are our goals. And CIPU, I believe, offers such a forum right now. It's growing, it's fostering a culture of collaboration under the leadership of the governing councils that are here, but also of Mr. Karthik here. You've all had lots of emails from him. You'll continue to have more emails. But he's really a very energetic person, and ever since he came on board, you've seen a lot of progress in this effort. So Karthik, well done. Thank you very much. And it's fitting here that we're meeting on the sidelines of APLU, as it is one of the higher ed associations that we were inspired by. Satish Tripathi and some of us were saying, hey, why don't you come together in an APLU-like organization? The P is missing in this thing. I mean, it's not a public institution necessarily, but it does a lot, and I think CIPU could learn from them, collaborate with them, et cetera, and there'll be an MOU signing today. So as a brief summary of the past 2 workshops, we shared perspectives and explored opportunities for collaboration in areas such as innovative partnerships, entrepreneurship and commercialization, which ties into our global Thai colleagues who are here that you'll hear a bit more about, the research ecosystem, and pedagogical innovations in higher education. These were sort of the topics of some of our past panels as well. And each time, what was emphasized is the need for professional development and mentorship programs for Indian higher education leaders. And so we should continue to keep that in mind. And the second workshop we had, which was attended by about 100 people in Pune, it focused on student-centric education, advancing a culture of research and innovation, embedding a service orientation in education. Our Indian counterparts have a lot more active sort of interest in making a social impact as I see it. And collaborating with their state and central governments because the structure is different. And so the panel discussions focused on faculty excellence at scale, governance practices, student success, and India-US partnerships. And today, our topics mirror these interests with the panels that we're having on the amplifying power of higher ed associations, the mission, governance, and engagement issues in higher ed, faculty recruitment, professional development and research collaborations, and expanding student training and opportunities for placement and such. So to kick off our conversations, I just want to share a couple of things, again, for those who might be attending for the first time, that there is great opportunity in my mind for greater innovation and excellence in our respective institutions and nations. None of us would be here, I believe, if we didn't believe in the power of this group. And so we gather to collaborate productively, despite major differences between our 2 countries in terms of population, the penetration of higher education, the sort of participation in higher education, the percentages, the maturity of the sector, the resources available, and the financial models. They're all different. And so we keep that in mind. If you just look at scale, there are hundreds of millions of students in India that must be educated and upskilled. And the number of educational institutions, I think most would agree, it continues to lag the demand that is there. And I believe the quality of the education available has also been uneven. There are some that are great, some not so much. And of course, our respective governance systems, including the state and central governments and their roles, are also vastly different. And the ways that governments fund and oversee public higher education is also different in the 2 countries. The same goes for this unusual model of a mother university and numerous affiliated bodies, which is unfamiliar in the US. Right? So good for us to keep this in mind. At the institutional level, the structures related to faculty recruitment, promotion and recognition and reward, compensation levels, professional development opportunities, all these are very different. So as we talk to each other, I think we need to recognize that. Even for research, the funding models for research are quite different because in India, funding primarily comes from the central government, and only modest corporate funding is in play. I would say that the learning and support environment for undergraduates and the recruitment and preparation among graduate students and postdocs is also different. And the staffing capacity around these functions is, I would say, more limited in India. So as we envision ways of connecting between the 2 nations and our institutions, I think we must be mindful of the traditions, the evolution of, and the culture of the educational systems having been different. The regulatory oversight is very different. And so that can also make the necessary innovation and experimentation somewhat challenging. So, I won't dwell on this much because I'm not an expert, but the Indian government has also started this national education policy in 2020, NEP. Our embassy colleagues are here who can provide you more detail there. But a couple of the high-profile goals they have are to get 50% of high school students to enroll in college. This is essentially doubling how many are enrolled right now. Again, keeping in mind the population and the youth of, among the youth in India, that's a tall order. And we have to think about that when we're thinking of collaborating. They also are looking to differentiate educational institutions by research and teaching, et cetera, and there are institutions of eminence that are being created, which is an interesting model. They're also providing more opportunities to enhance networks and collaborations. So the conversations today are timely because of that change. And I'm always curious whether a land-grant mission-like approach could work in India, and I'd like to explore that personally as well. I'm also curious whether the corporate entities in India could be greater partners to higher education, both because they rely so heavily on a workforce, and their involvement can not only provide sources of funding, but also job placements, research opportunities, internships, things like that. So I think there could be great potential there. And so let's just, as we think about partnerships, be cognizant of the necessary scale. Achieving quality at that scale is daunting in my mind. And so I wonder whether a carefully constructed and effective deployment of distance education, especially post-COVID, we're all better at it, does that provide the answers for both sort of full degrees, but also continuing and professional education, right? This will need much creativity and experimentation. I don't think anyone's there yet, but I think this could be a clear and distinctive leapfrog opportunity for India. And I'll just end by saying that we're not here to debate the merits of the systems in the two countries. We certainly have our respective challenges, but how can we work together to improve the quality of education at scale, and how do we improve the excellence in research, transcending sort of individual relationships between institutions and thinking about how we can make a systemic change. So that's my hope, and I look forward to working with all of you. Thank you for coming, and I'll give it back to Ganesh for the next steps. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Suresh Garimala, for canvassing the convening remarks. Welcome, Mr. Rahul Karad.
Good morning, all the respected members. Professor Garimala, the president of Arizona University, and of course the chair for this Global Council of Confederation of Indian Private University. We both are hosts in the sense, and we have of course Satish Tripathi ji and Jayanti Murthy madam and Mauli Agarwal ji, all other respected presidents of some other institutions also from different parts of the country. I see some of the vice chancellors and some other members. We have APLU respected president, Mr. Mark, Professor Mark, thank you for your presence today. And from the government representation, we have Vinod Badadeji. Thank you, Bahadeji, for your participation today. And I'm very confident that through your participation, the message to the HRD Ministry, the Government of India, definitely will pass on in the right manner. Thank you. And of course, Dr. Aditi, your colleague, thank you, madam, for your participation. From TIE Global, we have important leader for the corporate, Vijay Menanji. आपका भी यहाँ पे आना हुआ. Thank you so much. And of course, Setu Ramanji will be speaking through online, sir, I think after some time. So please let me know in between whatever your schedule is planned. So I will just take 5-10 minutes. I myself, Rahul Karad, and this is an initiative which myself and Professor Garimala, we happen to know each other last 5 years, and we thought how and what way we can transform Indian higher education, and how can we take the help of Indian diaspora and the American institutions, because America definitely has given quite a hope to the world, and we all know that many such world-class centers in United States, they are working so well. So with that idea, we said that let us form one such body called Confederation of Indian Private University. My education system as MIT World Peace University, we have 80,000 students, primarily 60,000 in higher education and another 20,000 in primary, pre-primary school education, and some hospitals of 2,000 bedded hospitals and various other social initiatives are under my charitable trust for the consumption of some new members I see. I'm just little telling our background. So we are very committed. What little film and what you saw just now, the Washington DC workshop and the previous workshop. And I have concern, I must say, that we private institutions have our own story. India is divided in 2-3 major areas in higher education: semi-urban, rural, and higher education in the urban centers like city of Pune, Mumbai, Bangalore, and various other such important cities. So, there are, of course, some of the, every Americans, I think every institution, IITs and IIMs are quite well known. They have their own positioning. And there are some other public institutions also, like Mumbai University and Banaras Hindu University, Madras University. So likewise, India is a huge, the third largest education system after US and China and India. Around 50 million students taking education in higher education. The exact number is, closer to this. Of course, primary education system is, I think it is the world largest system because of the population story. But the important issue is the quality. Important issue is the teachers. And if we narrow down, because this particular seminar and the workshop here under the CIPU is about higher education. So the main important thing, what we discussed, Professor Garimala, that the quality of teachers, the program design, the updated syllabus, industry academia support, and of course the government machinery, Vinodji, how they look at it and how they support. So these are some 4-5 important areas wherein I think we lag hugely, and we have to really, if we really have to go faster, and we know that in US and some other parts of the world, in Europe and various other places, with such a large number of students go for higher education. But somewhere at the PG level, I see UG level also they go, and it's a good process, I think, and many other from other Asian countries, so many students come to India for higher education because of the cost component. At the undergraduate level, the quality of education is quite good, people have appreciated. But again, the issues of taking degree just for the sake of taking degree, I mean, application of your knowledge finally to the problem solving approach or product based learning, what you call about. So these are some areas where we are lagging, and the government alone, they have their own system. There are hundreds of other NGOs are also working for the transformation of the country. But for any nation for that matter, US today, long back, the land grant scheme, Professor Garimala mentioned about how the transformation happened in US and everywhere. And it's the same format, I think, after independence, last 77 years, if you see, wherever those education centers have gone, the development of that particular city, that particular area. And that's how, Professor Garimala, I think this is very important. We have to think about some such, I have a pain that why corporates are not coming forward for the establishment of universities in our country. Here is a chairman, sir, the Thai Global Vijay ji. आप यहाँ बैठे तो ये बहुत बड़ा सवाल है. We have to have this, that corporate people, nobody has really shown that vision, and of course the TIFR, the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, and ISC Bangalore, and those institutions, Birla's created some other institutions, but still I think it is not enough. We have, and I see that how do we develop, and because this government regulation is also not, for them it is not encouraging. They feel that this is not a good idea, and so from that perspective, we feel we as owners of the private institutions also and the academia also, how and what way we can come together. And we all are working in silos. That is also one big problem in my country. And as Madam, I think recently one new institution started in Andhra Pradesh. So they said the same thing, that the owners have to come together. Alliance Universities, another institution in Bangalore, they have some 10 to 15,000 students and some other members I see. So we have a same feeling, but nobody has taken the lead or initiative. So Mr. Mark, I think you, Professor, supporting this as APLU and it is always, this is a process, the developed economy and developing economy. So APLU, such a large institution, we have seen, we have studied, and Professor Garimala said, Rahul, I think if we have to foster this CIPU, so many students to US are coming, academia is now getting migrated from this part to that part. This is a two-way process, and we as a whole society and the globe, this is a, with that cohesiveness only we can transform our overall society as a world. And from that perspective, that competition is important, but time and again I'm saying that collaborative competition, how do we penetrate that thinking in the minds and hearts of the students? And I was talking about, we need so many jobs, we want so many startups in the country. Government alone can't give jobs to our youngsters of the demographic dividend. Below 25 years of age, we have 50% population of my country. And how do we, look at this particular issue? So I think very fundamental idea, that we need to imbibe in the minds and hearts of the students, that this particular knowledge, how you can further apply. And because of the little colonial thinking also, the British era and so many other social challenges, we have that little rote learning approaches, and majority places, you get me, the problems need to be given, communicated to the students. Guys, you can resolve this problem, so that tomorrow your mind develops, you start startups, the overall ecosystem develops, the jobs are created. So that's how I look education as a very fundamental thing, and we leaders coming together is a need of the hour. And from that perspective, Professor Garimala, Professor Satish Tripathi ji, Madam Murthy, Madam Agarwal ji, you all are very powerful, important leaders here. So one thought in the morning I came, what is that, direct takeaway from this particular, because we have 500 vice chancellors of private universities in my country, for 500 registrars who are the chief administrative officers, the IT, who are, basically any such organization, there are 5 to 8 important people who run the governance of that particular center, the university, the president and the vice chancellor. Here you people say president and the provost. There we say chancellor and the vice chancellor. So if we really think that today from this seminar, I will request that some such program of academic leadership development program, wherein some 10 to 12 days, some of these vice chancellors come here, and we develop just in one uni, just 2 such delegations of 10 people, Professor Garimala, and they stay there for 10 days. They observe the governance of the institutions. Vinodji, IITs are great institutions. With a due respect, they have given a great pride for our country. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister, he created this very system in our country. But somewhere I see IIT system, even the HRD Minister also I said, and even other members also I communicated very loudly, that even IITs have 3,000 to 4,000 students, 5,000 students, very quality niche, and only in engineering, and some institutions have started philosophy also, management also, and some other programs also. But when I look at United States with such a population here, and for the world, the ecosystem, what you guys have created here, and every average university also has a student number is minimum 15, 20, 30, 40,000 students with such a huge acreage of land, and because of the abundant land you have available. But in India, we haven't really dared so far to establish, at one place, one campus. So governance of the institution is a basically fundamental, issue. I look at it. The quality of education we can deliver through the governance of education, and the governance we all have to really understand. So all the respected vice chancellor, you all may feel that कि राहुल कराड़ यहाँ अमेरिका आके हमारे भारत को ही criticize, मैं criticize नहीं कर, I'm just trying to introspect myself as a university. But, I was telling my colleague, Professor Mark, that, they may feel that I am coming here and I am a self-evaluator. And we, in this system also, there are problems in US. Every system has some problems, I mean to say, and we have to continuously upgrade ourselves and go to the next level. And that's how I look at India has solid strengths also. And what happened, some of those people from Indian origin sitting here, some of those most average people, when they come to US, what is that magic happens and they do so well? Sometimes, because there we haven't really created that environment, as a policy level, Vinodji, we have to think that policy should enable and really, those such mind, we should nurture them, guide them that yes, I can really propagate here my journey of professional, my transformation can happen. So that confidence, government system, our education system, and I keep telling on various forums, again, I will speak here sometime when you go some other part of the world and you speak, it has little more importance. So I said that all our education ministers, our HRD ministry, and they have a very crucial role, and the secretaries and, and of course, we as a private system, we all have a role to play in this transformation. So without taking too long, I think I can request only thing that from this very seminar and workshop today, if you guys agree, some of the presidents, you have your own group, and through APLU system, if we develop some such program, which can be given, we will promote it very beautifully among those 500 universities. We have some already 100 members have come forward. Where is Mr. Karthik? So very systematically this thought process, we can put it, share with, though I did not get time to speak on this idea, but today morning, yesterday only I was thinking, when we are doing, so what is the takeaway as we go back? And I think these are 1 or 2 points. So once again, thank you so much, everybody here. I request each one of you to foster this idea of CIPU and bless this concept. And I was told Setu Ramanji is here, the National Science Foundation president. Thank you, sir, for joining last year also with such a humility, and overall we all felt that you are a part of this system. You came here, you addressed the gathering, and you made us all comfortable. Thank you, Professor Garimala and APLU, to facilitate, Panchanathanji. Welcome, sir. Thank you. I hand over to you. Thank you.
With this, moving forward, I humbly invite Mr. Vinod Bahade, Minister Education and Head of Chancellery, Embassy of India, Washington, D.C. But before I invite Dr. Vinod Bahade, let me put forward the brief profile of Dr. Vinod. Dr. Vinod Bahade is currently working as Minister Education and Head of Chancellery at Embassy of India, Washington, D.C. He is a member of Indian Foreign Services, have joined in 2007. His overseas assignments including serving as Third Secretary at Embassy of India, Vietnam, Deputy Consul General of India, Sydney, and First Secretary Commerce at Indian Embassy at Cairo. At the headquarters, he has held the offices of Under Secretary, Central Europe Division in the Ministry of External Affairs, Director in the Ministry of Steel, and Director Economic Diplomacy Division in the Ministry of External Affairs. With this note, I humbly invite Mr. Vinod Bahade, Minister Education, Head of Chancellery, to deliver the special guest address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Suresh Garimela-ji, Chairperson, Global Advisory Council, CIPU, and the President, University of Arizona, Rahul Karad-ji, Founder, CIPU, and Executive President, MIT University, Pune, Dr. Mark Baker, President, APLU. Leadership from various distinguished universities from the United States and India. Thank you for inviting me for this event. It is indeed a pleasure to participate in the higher education dialogue initiated by CIPU, APLU, and witness the signing of MOUs today, which I am confident that will strengthen the education and knowledge partnership between our two countries. Such collaboration among the institutions of learning has been possible due to the trust and confidence that have been strengthened and developed between our two countries. Today, US and India enjoy close global strategic partnership based on our shared values and common converging interest. In recent years, our partnership has witnessed tremendous growth across diverse sectors, and education, knowledge, and skill partnership is one of the core pillars of this relationship. Within the large picture of the India-US partnership, education space has a vast potential. Around 360,000 Indian students are in the US. Majority of them are in the STEM areas. A large number of US universities are having the existing tie-ups with Indian institutions. Rahul spoke about how the US universities are already collaborating with IITs, IIM, ISC, and there is a need for also to expand this partnership further and go to the private universities, to the universities which are there in tier 2, tier 3 cities in India. And I think that is the way forward for this education partnership to move forward. The political leadership of both countries has been making all efforts to transform the real potential in this partnership into reality. And we have seen the strong bipartisan support for this partnership in view of the transformation and realignments in various sectors at global stage. We saw this in past few years in the form of launch of India-US initiative on critical and emerging technology, Global Challenge Institute, which is being set up to address 21st century challenges in various areas such as health, food and energy security, semiconductor, AI, robotics, quantum technology, advanced material biotechnology, which you have just heard Dr. Panchanathan was mentioning about. India-US Working Group on Education and Skill Development was launched in 2023. Further, we also have the joint research project between Indian and US universities, which have been enabled through MOUs and implementation agreement between the US NSF. On Indian side, the collaborating partners are Department of Science and Technology, Biotechnology, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. I just spoke about the cooperation at bilateral level, but there is also cooperation within the context of Quad, which is a plurilateral initiative. We have something called Quad STEM Fellowship, under which 25 scholars from each country come to US for research, and this has now been expanded further to the ASEAN countries. 10 scholars from ASEAN would also be joining this initiative. Government of India new education policy launched in 2020 also prioritizes international cooperation, and this has opened new pathways for deepening India-US education collaboration, and this can be done in multiple areas through multiple pathways such as dual and joint degree program, two-way student mobility, campus-to-campus exchanges, academic exchanges, and so on. Indian government has further expanded provision for world-class foreign universities and institutions to operate free from domestic regulation in India's maiden International Financial Service Center, that is GIFT City, and the recent UGC regulation on setting up of branch campuses in India have also been issued. When you establish your campus in the GIFT City, you remain the foreign university, but you operate on Indian soil. You get the Indian students living in the Indian soil, but studying in the foreign university. So that, I think, last year or 2 years back, one Australian university has already established campus. There is keen interest also from various US universities. They are also exploring possibility how they can work and set up their campuses there. Greater focus is also on, which was one of the main point of Rahulji's speech, is also on building institutional collaboration between universities in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, so that we can tap the vast talent pool available there. This underscores the focus of both countries to develop skill our youth for emerging as well as strategic sector in future. Education as well as skilling is one of the important areas of partnership between India and US, like the skilling program undertaken by US companies in India. Indian tech industry in the US has also spent more than USD 1.1 billion in nurturing STEM talent in the US, and our companies have partnered with more than 130 colleges in the US in this regard. Now so this is what the current status of our education collaboration is. How do we go from here? What is there in the future for us? We need to identify the problems of tomorrow, and we need to explore the solution for these problems in the universities. As the world faces multiple challenges, including healthcare, supply chain issues in semiconductor, cyber threats, green energy, India and US have unique synergies. We have the Indian talent on one side and US technology on the other side. We need to connect both of them. The transformative changes underway in India provide renewed opportunity to collaborate with the US institution on cutting edge research, particularly in agriculture, climate change, clean and renewable energy, healthcare, AI and machine learning, quantum technology, space, and other disruptive technologies. Another important aspect of this collaboration could be the greater engagement of the Tier 2 universities in such collaborative effort, so that the potential can be fully tapped. We should look at promoting more student and academic exchanges as well as joint research program with these universities. I would also underline that promoting two-way student mobility by exploring short-term courses in Indian and US institutions should also be explored and encouraged. Indian universities and institutions can also engage with the US community college for skilling of our youth in alignment with industry requirement. Presence of MNC in both countries can be tapped by the universities in this connection. On our side, we have the various agencies for the skilling of various vocation. They are in the form of industrial training institutes, polytechnic. Then we also have the Center of Excellence set up by NSDC, which is under the Ministry of Skill Development of Entrepreneurship. Similarly, there are similar kind of vocational training are offered by the vocational colleges here in USA. How we can connect both of them? How we can adopt the best practices from the vocational institutes here and deliver those programs in India? How we can identify the scarcities of the talent pool, the job demand in the US in this vocation, which can be catered to and fulfilled by the Indian market, Indian skill pool. So these are certain areas I think we can work on collaboratively, and I think with today's discussion at the dialogue, I am sure we'll cover some of these aspects which we just discussed, which will include research, innovation, entrepreneurship, pedagogy, and many other areas. I wish the dialogue every success. I would like to assure you from the Embassy of India that we remain at your disposal to foster this relationship in education and knowledge partnership. Whatever assistance is required from the Indian side, from the US side, whatever tie-up is required, facilitation is required, we are there to help you, we are there to connect you, to network you with the right partners. Thank you very much, and wish you the dialogue all the best. Thank you.
So thank you very much for your words of support and motivation. This is a moment where I would like to invite Mr. Mark Becker, President, Association of Public and Land Universities, to reflect his thoughts at this moment.
Thank you. It's a real pleasure to be here and to have this opportunity to have APLU host CIPU in this third dialogue between our Indian heritage US presidents to help with CIPU as you go forward with your work. It's a very exciting opportunity for India, for the institutions, to go through a process that our association went through over 100 years ago to figure out how to come together to work in collaboration, basically across research, education, the success of students, and students from all walks of society, students at all levels, to have the opportunity to have an education that not only transforms their lives, but helps transform the country, to take the country forward by tapping into all the talent of the citizenry. So it's a real pleasure for us to be able to host this morning, and thank you so much for inviting us to participate and have the opportunity to sign this MOU.
Thank you, Mark. Yeah, with this, I request Mr. Karthik, Director General CIPU, to take us through a presentation about CIPU's vision and the proposed initiatives. Over to you, Mr. Karthik.
First of all, my thanks to Rahul ji for giving me this opportunity, and special thanks to Dr. Suresh Garimala for his continued guidance and support. This will be a short presentation about what we have done so far, and you would have seen in the glimpse videos about the 2 visioning workshops that happened. And in this presentation, I will just show what we have done in the last 1 year and what we are planning in the upcoming years. So we have identified the vision of CIPU to make India as the knowledge capital of the world and to re-establish credentials as the Vishwaguru in the 21st century. The 3 key. Hello, yeah. So the strategic focus areas that we have identified: university governance, internationalization, research and innovation, industry-academia collaboration, sustainable development, and academic leadership. So under each of these areas, we have formed national level committees with a convener, and with the support of all those experts, we are planning to do many initiatives in the upcoming years. So in the last 1 year, after forming the organization, so we worked on the governance structure. So we have board of advisors, then we have National Advisory Council, Global Advisory Council, national level committees, and we have regional level committees, north, south, east, and west in India. So Rahul ji is the chief patron for CIPU, and we have many eminent personalities in the board of advisors. So the Global Advisory Council is chaired by Dr. Suresh Garimala, and many of them are here. Dr. Jayati Murthy, Dr. Satish Tripathi, Dr. Chandramouli Agarwal, they're all in our Global Advisory Council. And we have a National Council. Honorary President is Dr. Gopal Pathak, who is the Director General of Sarla Birla University. So similarly, across India, Southern India, North, East, West, so we have a chairperson and we have conveners of different committees. So these are the kind of founding members, and we have requested them to be the conveners and chairpersons of committees. And we have started meeting regularly, and we have been getting great ideas from them. We will be doing a lot of initiatives in the upcoming year. So this is the annual theme that we identified after a lot of deliberations: Embracing Education 5.0 for a Sustainable Progress. And this annual theme, it may continue next year, or every year we will be focusing on different themes going forward. And at the national level, we have all these committees: R&D and Industry Academia Collaboration Committee, Committee on Implementation of NEP 2020, Policy Advocacy, Education 5.0, Committee on Internationalization, and Sustainability Committee. Dr. Shiv Tripathi is here, who is the convener for Sustainability Committee. So in January 2024, after the 2 visioning workshops, which you saw in the glimpse videos, so beginning of this year, we met in Pune, mainly to discuss about the roadmap for the organization, what should be our vision going forward. So a lot of great ideas came forward, and Dr. Garimala was also there, and we were able to implement certain things, and many are in the pipeline in the upcoming months. So in July, we had a Vice Chancellors Roundtable again in Pune, and so going forward, we'll be doing such kind of academic leadership roundtables across India. So it will be hosted by various private universities in India. So we started a new initiative called Leadership Dialogues, actually. So I couldn't play the videos here. So we've already done around 15-20 interviews with different Vice Chancellors and Chancellors across the country, and it is well received. And mainly the main objective of this initiative is to get diverse perspectives and opinions on various challenges pertaining to the higher education sector. And we'll be doing more such initiatives, and with many of you here, I'll be reaching out to you. And this is kind of short interviews, like maybe 10, 15 minutes kind of interviews. This is a way, one way of knowledge sharing, I can say. So apart from the Vice Chancellor's Roundtable, we did a lot of online sessions too. So we have done something on future of learning, innovations and trends in higher education, and something related to artificial intelligence, and actually many more. I've just covered some of the key initiatives that we have done here. So we have started one newsletter for CIPU called University Voice very recently. The first edition is already out. So once in 3 months, it will be a quarterly newsletter going forward. And we'll be inviting articles from various vice chancellors, and both from within India as well as leaders from outside India too. And something called University Bites. Every week we'll be giving a lot of updates related to higher education trends and everything. These are all some small initiatives that we are planning. So in the kit that we have given to you, I think you can find one document called Strategic Framework document. It's a 12-point strategic framework that we have created. So we formed an exclusive committee for that, and based on the based on the suggestions by the experts, we have come out with those 12 important points. So going forward, that will be the overall vision and mission for CIPU. And under each of those 12 points, we'll be doing a lot of initiatives, which I have not covered here. So next year, 31st January and 1st February, we are planning a national conference. It's going to be a first flagship conference CIPU is going to organize. It will be kind of an AGM also for CIPU. It will be a 2 days event. It will be hosted by Mahindra University in Hyderabad. So we're already working on it. There's a steering committee. We definitely will be sending an invitation to all of you to come to India. Yeah, so we'll be doing a lot of capacity building initiatives. It could be function specific, for example, for registrars, controller of exams, all the important stakeholders in the higher education system. So we've already started working on it. So from next month onwards, I think it will be happening. So main idea is just to give you an idea, glimpse about what kind of initiatives that we are planning. And it is, in fact, it's a work in progress. It is evolving, and you can also give your suggestions. So we don't want to just we don't want to repeat what other such bodies are doing. It has to be unique. It has to be special. It has to benefit the members and all the important stakeholders in the higher education ecosystem. It's very important. And our delegation to USA is also one part of it. I think we will be doing it continuously, and we'll be doing it to we'll be repeating it in other countries also. But actually, in February, we are planning to take a delegation to UK. Main idea is knowledge sharing in terms of capacity building, student exchange, faculty exchange, joint research. A lot of areas for collaboration, and we'll be visiting many other countries in the future. That is another one of the important initiatives. Advocacy is definitely there, and we'll be collaborating with all these state higher education departments, apart from national level regulatory bodies in India like UGC, IICT, and everything. Because especially for the state private universities, the state higher education departments also have a very critical role to play. And we have already done a comprehensive survey. We have received a lot of inputs from the members about the kind of challenges they are facing in respective state governments, which we'll be taking up with the respective state governments shortly. So these are some of the other initiatives we are planning. We are also planning to get into sports, faculty development programs on research methodology to prepare faculty for research, and focused interactive sessions between vice chancellors and HR heads to facilitate industry academia collaboration. So mostly the first one will be happening in January, and so we're going to sign an MOU with the National Institute of Securities Market. It's a capacity building arm of SEBI, Securities Exchange Board of India. They have approached us for a partnership. We'll be doing a lot of capacity building programs with them shortly. So under the Sustainability Committee, we are planning to create one ESG framework for all the private universities in India, which is currently non-existent. So many such initiatives. A lot of other institutions are also coming forward to collaborate with this, which is a positive sign. Many private universities are ready to join us, and in fact, the MOU with APLU is definitely, it's a big milestone. It's a landmark for us actually, because we can learn a lot of good things that they are doing here in USA. Hopefully, I think we will be able to. After this MOU, we want to establish some kind of a mechanism so that we meet regularly, maybe once in 3 months or once in 6 months. MOU with Thai Global also. Thanks for Mr. Vijayvenan for coming here today. And in fact, they are planning one major initiative in December in Bangalore, ThaiCon or something. We're going to partner with them. There are many such opportunities where we can work together. So we request you all to share your thoughts, your insights about what kind of initiatives that the CIPU should focus on, how it can be a different organization, and how maybe in the coming years, maybe 2-3 years down the line, how it can become the face of all the private universities in the country. So since it is being a membership-driven organization, so definitely we request all your support, feedback, and guidance. Thank you so much. Thank you.
For the rest of the day, we have planned for 4 sessions. The details are there at your table as a part of the minute-to-minute program. Before we initiate for the panel discussion, first panel discussion here, I request all the members to assemble to the next hall, which is Lake Mizell Hall, for a group photograph. It is a time where we capture this memory of we being together and then planning to remain together and walk longer on these points we have discussed. So I request all the members, my colleague Subhash will be helping all of us. I request all the members to assemble in the hall beside Lake Mizell Hall for a group photograph. And after the group photograph, I further request everyone to be gathered back to the same hall where we'll start with the panel discussion first, immediately. Thank you. I may request all the members to proceed towards the Lake Mizell Hall for a group photograph.